Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Joes of all ages, welcome to the main event of the evening. It's Talking Joe with Chief and Chris.
Yo, Joe! Yo, Joe! Yo, Joe!
Ho, 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 hey, hey, hey. Chiefy is here in the loft, and you are here, not in my loft, you're in your new apartment.
I'm in my loft apartment in Rhode Island, Pawtucket to be precise, and it is amazing. My voice may sound a little echoey, and that will unfortunately be the case from now on because our place is just really vastly big in terms of the height of the ceilings and everything. So until I get a booth or something that I can set up, you're just going to have to put up with my rather godlike voice coming through. Yeah,
coming down from the heavens.
A bit of hubris there. I probably shouldn't have said God, isn't it?
No,
but
good,
anyway,
good. Also, the drive was successful. How many people / cars / deer did you hit?
Inside Chris's mind. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, so check this out. The day we got the truck was on the Wednesday, and we got it about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This guy who we got it from just talked our ears off for ages. U-Haul, so we had to go to a U-Haul dealer, kind of like a independent dealer, so they kind of in between places where the trucks get dropped off, and they're just allowed to, I don't know, they're just dealers. So we got the truck sorted out, and he just talked for ages. We didn't get back to the house. We're half a mile away from this place, right? It took us an hour to faff about talking about what he wanted to talk about. Eventually we got, we're kind of hey, we've got to kind of, sort the truck out, mate, so shut the up. So we ended up getting back home, opened the truck up and everything and started loading up. And then we decided that we're probably not going to take this stuff, so I had to unload the truck that I just load a quarter of it, took loads of stuff back off it, and then started kind of putting, rejigging it a little bit to try and Tetris everything in there.
Yep.
We were there till midnight because it was just myself, Kate, and my in-laws. And, they couldn't lift too much. Kate, can't lift that much. So it was really, most of the heavy lifting was down to Muggins here. And I was bushed.
Good job you're stacked.
Night. Oh, no, good job I'm built like a brick house, eh?
Yeah.
So, or just a house. So we go to, in fact, that was a cracking British colloquialism that I'm going to use at the end now.
Yep.
So I'll explain, all will be explained at the end of this episode. So we get it sorted, go to bed. We've already packed the bed and the mattress up. So we had to sleep on the couch cushions on the floor. Like a mattress on the floor, a single mattress, and then some dog beds I just piled together. And we had 4 hours of sleep. It was not optimal. We had to get up early, get the dog sorted, pack the rest of the stuff up and just get out. We were on the road to Ohio, and it took us maybe about 8 hours with stops. Stayed with the Dietrichs, Aaron and Sarah, and it was amazing. Aaron's Roma Collectibles. You might see that name pop up every now and again. They're a toy dealer, and they set us up at their place with us and the dogs for the night. So it was really nice to hang out with friends. We saw Kenny, Elisa, their little beautiful child Oliver, and Marcy, Aaron's mom, who is amazing and has the coolest basement ever. She has a bar with arcade machines and a pool table. Anyway, that's irrelevant. In any case, big shout out to those guys for hooking us up. We then, from that point on, we then had to drive the next day to Hamburg, New York, which was about 6 hour drive, but it took us about 7.5 with stoppages and fuel ups and dog peas and all that kind of stuff. So eventually we get there. It started snowing. It started snowing in Ohio really badly, huge blizzards. So that slowed us down about an hour. In the morning we thought, it's going to be awful. We stayed in this beautiful Airbnb loft apartment, and we were really jealous because we hadn't actually seen our place in Providence yet. We'd only seen a couple of pictures of it, believe it or not. We knew the layout. Kate had done a lot of research on it, but we hadn't actually been here in person to see it. So we get to this loft apartment in Hamburg, and we're like, this is beautiful. I wish we lived here. And when we got to Providence, we're like, scratch that. This is much better. So it was one of those feelings where it's like, oh, thank God. Because could you imagine going to a place after you've been to somewhere else and just be like, oh, God, I wish I lived here. But in actual fact, no, this is amazing. So it was more immense effort and energy, though, for the next day of driving. So Hamburg, New York to Providence, Rhode Island, that was about 8 hours. And then, I know, it's just these huge chunks of driving are gross. We get to the place, we sign all the things we need to sign, everything gets sorted. I backed the U-Haul truck up, and the loading bay was like 8 feet high. So I had to get stuff out of the U-Haul truck about, 6 feet away from the loading bay dock, jump down off the thing and then put it on top of the loading bay and push it on.
Nice.
And then like parkour my way up to then put it on a cart and walk it through. This was taking me forever, because you can imagine the amount of stuff we had in a 15-foot bloody U-Haul truck. And a friend, Eric Aranya from Boss Fight Studio, he came over to help. He can only do so much as well, so he then enlisted the help of two amazing young guys, Jason and AJ, who do a lot of work for Boss Fight. Big shout out to those guys. They literally saved my life, because I was looking at the back of that truck thinking, I'm not going to be able to do all of this, especially not, in a couple of hours. This is going to take me till like 3 a.m. And thankfully they helped out, but got everything in. And then Kate and I have just, over the last couple of days, just been slowly organising stuff. And
Very
it's
nice.
Amazing. So that was my epic. Oh, and one inside Chris's mind. So literally the dumbest in the universe. I dropped the only box marked fragile by my wife, which broke a ton of stuff in there. Some stuff very sentimental to both of us, so I felt like an absolute piece of shit all day long for that. Oh, it was just the dumbest thing. Anyway, that was me being an idiot. What happened was it broke some glassware that was in the bottom of the box, and shards of glass had slipped out of the box that I hadn't realised. And later on in the day, I came out of the room in no footwear on at all, no shoe, no socks, nothing, and stood on the biggest shard of glass. And I will show you. I'll show you a picture of it, but you can post it if you want on the Twitter feed, and how far it went into my foot.
Ouch.
The ball of my right kind of foot at the top went right in, and I was like, oh, yep, felt that. Went to go and pull it out, and it was like really resistant to coming out. So I'm like, oh, this is in there. So I really had to pull it to slide it out, and it was like, oh, that's fun. Put that to the side and kept it, so I've still got it.
Nice.
Like my
in
weapon.
your foot? Oh no,
exactly.
out your foot.
Yeah, I took it out of my foot now. It's in a glass display cabinet on its own. And it's not really. I started bleeding everywhere, obviously, so I had to like wrap that up, wash it, put a band-aid on it, then wrap it in kitchen towel, put my sock back on and a shoe, and then just go, right, that's going to have to stay on until I heal. So that was a bit of a pain in the foot. But now it healed that night. Like it went in deep. The cut is hideous.
I'll tell you what that is. That's Ninja bullsh.
Ninja bull. It's all the time. G.I. Joe and Ninja bull. It's not Ninja. It's Wolverine, mate. It's
Right,
already.
okay.
It's stopped bleeding now, and it's just this kind of nice, clean slice and dice on my foot. So yeah, brilliant. But other than that, it went really well. The dogs are settling in now. They're with me at the moment. Kate's at Boss Fight Studio, starting her new job as the office manager today. It's all kicking off and all very exciting, and we're really, really happy. There we go. Sorry
Brilliant.
that took so long.
No, good. Pleased you're in there. Settled in. I have been playing some Flashback on the SNES.
We don't have enough time to talk about yours now, mate. We'll have to get straight to the comics.
That's tough.
I'm just kidding. So this is a retro gaming thing, isn't it?
It is retro gaming.
Which means
I'm retro gaming, that's what I'm playing. So don't be shaming, cause then you'll be failing. Nintendo power, not in the shower. Sega for the ages, ghouls and ghost rages. Atari Jaguar, how did it get that far? Sony PlayStations gave me sensations. And now I have to go and do some retro gaming. I said retro gaming.
And I'm out. Yeah, some of that.
Sorry, there. Have some of that. Have some of that old school retro gaming jingle.
The actual reason why I'm playing this is because on the other podcast that I co-host, the Out of Timers.
Never heard of it.
Ben was saying, let's do some retro gaming, and I said, all right, yeah, stealing in a segment from Talking Joe, are we? And he said, all right, well, how about playing... No, we were talking about the SNES. On the previous episode, we were talking about the SNES, and he's off the back of that, he said, yeah, we should do some retro gaming. So I was flicking through my
Out of Timers, though. You kind of have to. That's more... Yeah. It's more relevant to the Out of Timers than it is to this show, right?
we were flicking through. I was flicking through my box, and I saw, oh look, I've got a Flashback cartridge here for the SNES, and he said, oh, I think I can get that as an emulator on the Switch. So we agreed, right? Let's Flashback. We'll play it and we'll report back next week. And so I started playing it, and holy tortilla chips, that game is hard. And in the interests of trying to play it and complete it to be able to talk about it the following week, I thought, I'm not young man anymore. You know, I haven't got all the hours in the world to play this game as much as I want. I have a life outside this. I need to go against my type, which is putting every game on hard. I realise now that I am a grown adult and I'm not offended now by playing a game on an easy level setting anymore. So I whacked it down to easy. I got up on YouTube a playthrough guide to basically just help me out every now and again.
Yeah. To cheat.
And I saw that the playthrough guide was 1 hour 35 to complete this game start to finish. So I thought, that's fine, you know.
Easy.
If I use that where I need it, if I can do this game in, say, 4 to 5 hours, you know, I'll be happy with that. I played for an hour, and in that hour, I had reached the 4-minute mark of this playthrough video. So it was taking me 15 times longer than someone could actually complete this game in real time. I kept dying, and when you die, there's no health bar. When you die, you go back to the beginning of the level.
Oh, that's gross.
So I messaged Ben saying, I don't think I'm going to be able to play this Flashback. And he goes, well, I've just bought it for 18 quid on the Switch. And I was like, all right, well, enjoy. So he started playing it, and I was like, don't you find this hard? He goes, what are you talking about? I've got a rewind segment. Every time I die, I rewind 10 seconds and play it again. He says, I've died about 50 times, but I just keep rewinding. I was like, well, I don't have that luxury. So he's whizzing through it, enjoying it, and I'm thinking, do I have the sustenance, the minerals to try it again? And I'm really struggling. So when you're kids and you're playing retro games, you get your money's worth, and there was no real complaints like this. It's only when you're a grown adult that you actually complain about
you're
these games
battling
being hard.
time. That's the problem, isn't it? It's like, I've got so
I'm
much to
dead.
do right now. I want to just relax and play a game, but that you can't really do that. Like not many games are chill, are they?
Anyway, we're crossing over because I don't want to talk about Flashback anymore, but if you want to hear some more views about Flashback in a week's time, go and check out the Out of Timers pod where you'll hear the end of this story, but you're not getting it here because I'm done talking about that game.
I see. It's just a plug to get your other podcast done. This disgusts me. I'm just kidding. I'm
really hungry.
It's actually a really good show, by the way, guys. Check it out.
Right, thank you. I'm really hungry. Have you got a snack?
Snack, attacker.
Snack attacker. Chief and Chris, like Han Solo and Chewbacca, are travelling through hyperspace to get some snacks. Snack attacker. Before we went live, I heard you munching on snacks.
Yeah, I basically, I'm going to just dive straight into this because I'm starving. I don't know why. It's only 11 in the morning. I shouldn't be hungry now. But pretzel crisps from the Snack Factory, original deli style, very cool pretzel, little mini pretzels basically. But I've also got a pretty standard issue. Hang on, my dog's shaking. I've got a pretty standard roasted red pepper hummus, which again I've had before. I've had both these before. I had them a few minutes before we recorded because you just said I was chomping on it. So in it goes, in my mouth, chomp, chomp, chomp. Yummy.
Good crunch on that.
Oh yeah, really nice. And that roasted red pepper hummus is lovely stuff.
Yeah, that sounds good.
You're right, mate.
I have got a veggie jerky.
All right, well, do that after the show, yeah? Now.
Tomato and I'm going to take a photo now because I always forget to take photos. So as last week,
same.
I ate my missus' Valentine's chocolate and I forgot to take a picture of it. So let me just take a picture of this.
Oh yeah, I wondered where that was.
Yeah. Sorry, because you had sent me in good time as well. I think the picture of the thing that you had eaten before we even started the podcast.
Biscuits. Literally rinsed the entire packet. So
I'm going to send you this picture now. It's veggie jerky in the shape of an England rugby shirt.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's quite cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's cute.
It's quite cool. Let's crack it open. It is a small
vegan
bag,
friendly.
Though. It's only vegan friendly. It's only 18 grams, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to take another picture. I'm going to show you the slim pickings that you actually get inside this packet.
Wasn't Slim Pickens a blues guitarist?
Yeah, possibly.
He is now.
I'm not going to eat that little bag of silicone.
Is that all you get?
Yeah, that's poor, isn't it?
So
anyway.
You've basically fit that on your hand with space to spare.
Yeah, I'll put this picture up on the socials, but oh wow.
Yeah,
good.
don't eat that bag, by the way, unless you already have done.
No.
Yeah, you already have done. He's
good.
noshed it right.
So this
down.
is Supreme Protein King's veggie jerky, tomato and herb flavour. Yeah, it's really good. Really good. But you get an absolute measly amount there. 18 grams. Come on. Sort your life out.
Sort your life out. Wait.
I bought two packets though. Who's the winner here? Chief. Right.
They were 16 quid each.
2 for 150 in Lidl.
Oh, lovely stuff.
Yeah.
They should have done like a change shirt as well, and you could have collected them both.
True that, player. Right, we're talking about G.I. Joe comics now.
Comic talk, oh, comic talk. Larry Hama writes them, Chief and Chris discuss them, whoa. Comic talk, oh, comic talk. Larry Hama writes them, Chief and Chris discuss them, whoa.
So on the slate here is 164, 165, Real American Hero. These are from March and April 2011. Bloody hell, so they're nearly 9 years old, these already.
To brick.
And at the end of this, we will be ranking these because they will form issue 160 to 165.
And because we're a bunch of massive rankers.
That's it, 6-issue arc, we'll be ranking these. And so for those playing catch-up or who haven't read the previous issues, let's find out where we are with the Real American Hero catch-up. After a dragged-down fistfight with Lady J, the Baroness was taken into G.I. Joe custody. Being kept in the same cell that Storm Shadow had escaped from, Mainframe and Psych-Out maintain a careful eye on the Cobra agent, believing she may be up to something. Meanwhile, Cobra has slowly been putting the pieces together and finally figured out the location of the Joe's pit. And Snake Eyes, infiltrating the depths of the brainwave scanner, has managed to find the back doors that finally put him face to face with Dr. Venom.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, so it's all going to shake down in these issues. Right, quick covers. So I said briefly at the end of the last episode, there's a cracker here, 164 cover, the Rod Wiggum variant, Mindbender, looking maniacal, with these B.A.T.s advancing in front of him. I love that kind of red hue.
Who's
the wash
Hugh?
kind of in the background. Good cover. The A version by Herb Trimpe is Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, kind of in mid-air, having a sword fight.
Ninja bullsh.
Yeah.
Ninja bull. It's all the time. G.I. Joe and Ninja bull.
Pencil version by Larry is the retailer incentive.
I kind of like Snake Eyes in that shot, but Storm Shadow looks a little bit minimal, doesn't he?
Yeah. It looks like it's all leggy and not much upper.
Yeah, his head looks really smooth and weird.
Yeah,
and
I think
like
the rod covers the best there for me.
Yep, agreed. Next.
Moving on to 165, the A cover is Herb Trimpe again off of the Larry Hama retailer incentive pencils.
Very Marvel reminiscent, this one, isn't it?
Yep. Captain Armbruster.
Armbruster.
That's what I said. Captain Armbruster.
That's Ace's name, yeah.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Brad J. Armbruster.
Very good, very good. And he is in a dogfight with a Rattler on that cover, and the B cover is headshots of Dr. Venom and Billy.
Yeah, it's like kind of a really sexy novella. Or it's like one of those movie posters when they just have heads floating around. Yeah.
I like the Trimpe one there. Quite like that one.
I do. It's really fun. Really enjoy that one. And like I said, very reminiscent of the old Marvel covers. I also like the fact that the ground is like inverted. So initially when I looked at it, it looks like Ace is he's kind of on the level plane, but then as you kind of look around the issue, you see in the top right hand corner like the ground and the fields. Yeah. So they're kind of like in this kind of amazing, like, I don't know, it just really spins it round for you. It's really cool visually.
Yep, good stuff, good stuff. So this, like we said, this kind of concludes the Snake Eyes being brainwashed, the Billy being supplanted by Dr. Venom, and also the pit being invaded by some of the Cobra forces, and also the Baroness being captured. So there's a lot actually
lots going on,
wrapped up, and lots going on in these two issues, and paced really well. Art is fantastic. A lot to like going on here.
Yeah, really, really cool. And obviously it's all, there's a lot of low-level rumbling going on. Obviously Snake Eyes has just, caught Dr. Venom. He's with Dr. Venom in the brainwave scanner in like kind of their avatar state, their computers, their kind of fake state, should we say.
Yeah.
And Billy is trying to change the avatar to himself, or he's trying to confuse Snake Eyes, or, kind of stop him from doing what he's trying to do, which is obviously prevent Dr. Venom from living effectively in the brainwave scanner. And so Mindbender comes in and he's like, what's going on, Billy? And Billy's like switching the lights off and all this kind of jazz. So it's kind of all very in the mind frame of, him trying to defeat Dr. Venom, but we don't know what goes on after that point just yet. We switch over to the pit.
Yes, and I do need to say here that Larry has made a mistake with the script. In that first panel where he says he's a ninja is not a satisfactory explanation. What he meant to put is it's ninja bullshit.
Ninja bull, it's all the time, G.I. Joe and ninja bull. I've had to use that jingle 3 times in this episode so far. People are going to be so angry with me. Anyway, yes,
tough.
Ninja bull. And then we get some human bull when Baroness uses one of the kind of bars on her chest sigil to basically communicate, where she is in the base, which is really cool, actually. Like, they're trying to work... What I like about this whole scene is how Psych Out, who is effectively trying to work out what her motivations are, that's his job, is struggling to work out what is it that's missing. I just noticed this is missing. What's it about? What's she trying to do? Etc. etc. And what we actually given a really nice heads up as to where that piece of the sigil is, but we don't know where it is yet in the issue. But we do get a little Easter egg as to where it is on like the second page of this particular part of the story, which I think is brilliant. And I only noticed it when I went back to read it for right this moment, which is brilliant. So anyway, yes. You've got Psych Out, Mainframe, Duke, and Stalker all in there chatting.
And this is very much a case of, in the previous issues, we saw the Baroness having a bit of a paddy and creating a scene in the cell, but they never really explained. At the time, it was kind of left open. Yeah. And now you're kind of seeing, it's almost like explaining, why she was doing that. Because I was thinking, wait a minute, what's she going mental for here? Oh, it's just going to be unexplained and doesn't really make any sense. But now, of course, it does make sense.
Well, I felt like it was a diversionary tactic because it just kept coming up, didn't it?
Yeah.
They kept mentioning it and they kept saying, what's her motivation? What's she doing? Just kill her. That'll sort it out.
Yeah.
Geneva Convention can be f***ed on this one.
There's a bit I really love here where in Broca Beach...
Yes.
Cobra Commander is being carried around on a kind of cart thing with a bicycle, like almost like a tuk-tuk.
What are they called? They've got a name for them, haven't they? We went on one in London for lols.
Is it not tuk-tuk? Or is that... That's in Thailand, isn't it?
I think that is a name for it. But yeah, you've got the Viper kind of pedaling and like the Televiper running by the side of him, like trying to go like... Here you go, Cobra Commander.
And he's like,
going on
you're not winded already, are you, Televiper?
And he's running by the side of this fucking bike. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm knackered, mate.
Absolutely knackered. And yeah, he's obviously communicating with Dr. Mindbender, who's with the Televiper and a load of bats. They're the kind of tip of the spear for this attack on the pit, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. That's they're the initial forces they're going to send in. So is the plan to kind of send in not a scouting party, but almost like kind of a recon group rather than... They haven't gone en masse, have they?
No, I think... Sorry. I don't know why why do we do this?
Well, I don't do the crunchies. I don't do the crunchies during anymore.
I've got to stop this. It's just an addiction of... Anyway, what I think they're doing here is they're sending the bats in because obviously that's going to cause some damage. It's collateral they can deal with. Cobra aren't going to lose any troopers over it, even though it does cost Cobra Commander, was it 1.5 bill or something each one?
Yeah, yep.
Which is f***ing ridiculous. Where are they getting their money from? Benzene probably
mil,
still.
Think, or whatever it is, yeah.
Is it
even
mil?
Then, yeah.
I think you're right. When he did say like and I think I read it as bill and thought, hell, that's a lot of money. It's after they blow up, isn't it, that he says that?
He just says a piece. So he just says 1.5 a piece or something like that.
Mill.
My favorite, one of my favourite bits of dialogue here is where they're setting up the bats to go in. He says, Mindbender says, set them on no prisoners and crank the run amok dial up to 10. I love the fact they got a run amok dial.
Brilliant. I love that. So the Joes have basically moved the kind of surface base over. Zartan and the Dreadnoks are actually where the base is with Destro, and the bats are running into this kind of like dummy area, which is where they moved the base from before.
Why are they in that other area? Are they got the tracker?
They've got a GPS
on the Baroness.
tracker. Yes, they know where it is because of that. And Mindbender has made a decision to move the bats to this base because he thinks the GPS tracker's out, which is weird. Like, just, you know,
and that's
obviously
a visual.
it's not.
The base is a visual thing that he's obviously homing in on, effectively.
Yeah. So he kind of tells the bats, because they're actually programmed to those GPS coordinates. So had he just left them, they would have done the damage that they needed to do. And because they change their parameters and they change the bats manually, they go in the other direction, which is interesting. Yeah. And then obviously Destro turns up in his despoiler, which is so like over elaborate, and I love it. And then he gets it to kind of like hobgoblin around them while they kind of kicks up some dust.
What's his interest in being here is purely Baroness based,
yes,
we're assuming.
Of course. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. So this is really interesting. Now, this brought about a huge kind of reaction in the community when this particular character was spotted on the next page, and it's Sneak Peek. He just appears with Spirit looking out of his binoculars, and everyone was like, hang on, Sneak Peek died very, very hideously.
That was in the benzene oil fields, and he ran at, who was it? Was it him and Dusty?
Yeah, and Dusty carried him.
Dusty carried him, and he was dead. He carried the dead man back, yeah.
So what is funny about this is that we get Sneak Peek back, and everyone's like, he's alive again. What the hell? What's going on? Obviously, Larry made a mistake and does retcon this information later in the run. So we will get to that when we get to that. But I just thought that was really interesting to point out, and obviously great to have this particular character in doing his specialty, which is like, you know, sneakily peeking. He's checking people out in the showers, and then we see the Baroness when we go back into the detention cell kind of take off another part of her sigil, and it's like a little communication device, which is brilliant. And so this is what she's done. She's put one of the sigils somewhere else. That's what she had to draw everyone into the cell, and that's what it turns out to be. And then the other sigil that she removes, she utilizes and then creates this kind of distress signal, I suppose. But yeah, really, really cool, I thought. Yeah.
It's good stuff. And they find, like what you were saying, the first one, they actually find it on the back of Mainframe's helmet,
and there it is. Like, again, like if you go back to the beginning of the issue, when we go to the pit the first time, have a look at the second page and at the back of Mainframe's helmet, and there it is, stuck on the back of his helmet. And again, you wouldn't... Is it? Well, I said the third page of the story of the pit. The second page of the pit part of the story is what I was saying, not the... It's like the fourth page.
I see it. Yeah.
It's the fourth page of the story, but the second of this particular part of the story. And there it is, stuck on the back of his helmet, which I thought is really cool, because I didn't see that until we went through it again just now, and I'm like, there it is.
Yeah.
But I thought that was really cool. And then Ace comes in.
Yeah, Ace pops in, doesn't he, with the Sky Striker.
With the Sky Striker, and Sneak Peek laser designates on the bats so he can drop two pretty banging bombos.
Now, tell me why.
I
got some jerky in my mouth. Tell me why Snake Eyes and Billy / Venom are going after Storm Shadow.
Because he's defected to the Joes, and they're after Storm Shadow for defecting to the Joes, I guess.
Last we saw it, though, hadn't Snake Eyes gone into Venom's mind? Into Billy's mind I'm trying to go back to the last issue. The last bit we saw was Snake Eyes going into the brainwave scanner, and he tracked down Venom.
Yeah.
So we don't ever really get the repercussions of what happened there, do we?
No, this is what happens. All this goes on. Snake Eyes and Billy meet in the, as in Snake Eyes and Dr. Venom meet in the mind kind of scenario. Go back to the first couple of pages. Dr. Venom switches the light out, and that's Billy bringing him out of the the brainwave scanner, you can see it's disconnected him.
Oh,
Can you
right,
see?
yeah, of course, yeah.
And then Mindbender comes in and says, we intercepted some satellite imagery that indicates Storm Shadow may have left the suspected G.I. Joe facility in Utah. So it's like...
I get it. It's the old case of me having read the issue an hour ago and forgetting it already.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
And me being confused as to why that was missed somehow.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Standard SOP,
Okay.
standard
Yeah,
operating
standard
procedure.
operating procedure. Yeah, this is good.
This is good. Yeah.
I think the listeners are up to date now with how confusing we make things.
No, how much of an idiot I am. That's what they're up to date with.
Well, also me, because it would have been easy for me to just say, well, because they're after Storm Shadow because they found him in the yada yada yada.
No, it's
anyway,
fine.
So now, the Storm Shadow is luring them in as well. Like he knows he's been caught, for a reason, so that they can go after him, and the reason being so he can apply the classic ninja bull. Ninja bull. It's all the time. G.I. Joe and ninja bull. ARAH Chicago mindset.
Yeah, which we get a little bit towards the end of the issue, don't we? Yeah. There's
Yeah,
a big fight, big fist fight, and slash sword fight. Really good action scenes here. He's drawn a lot of moving parts here, Gallant, and it's even sticking in backgrounds as well, and lots of broken glass. So fair play and credit to putting in the man hours there.
There was one panel that confused me for a second because I thought they'd both jumped out of the helicopter. It's just Snake Eyes because that's his shadow, not another. And I'm like, that's weird, but yeah, it's really cool.
And that issue kind of ends where Snake Eyes is now effectively de-brainwaved.
Yes,
back in sword in the sheath and back on the good side. And then the end of this issue in terms of the Utah base stuff is Destro has flown his despoiler into the pit.
Yeah,
he got that in fairly easily.
Destro bull. Yeah,
Destro bull. And then flies out as well.
Yep, Destro bull.
And then everyone bugs out. Destro's bug out. Zartan was disguised as Baroness for a little while.
That was to throw them off the scent so they could escape. Yeah,
Buzzer was thinking about coming onto him,
of course.
But anyway, and then going into the next issue, it's kind of just tying up the loose ends.
Also, Spirit has to jump on a bat that's about to explode, so we don't know what happens to Spirit because it looks like he's blown up in that.
Yep. And this next one, nice little bit of tripwire at the beginning. Always like a bit of tripwire.
Big time. He's changed his gear though.
Armani, Prada, Versace too. Joe's changed their outfits from black to blue. Duke and Hawk, look but don't gawk. Changing their kit, whoa, is that legit? Swapping camo jackets, headgear and boots. It's now neon colours and funky spacesuits. Sci-fi stalker and even roadblocks. While Bill, Flint and Mutt gave me a shock. So go take a walk if clothes aren't your passion. Cause it's comic book talk and lovely G.I. Joe fashion.
Changed his gear and he's not really that much of a buffoon here. I would want a bit more buffoonery from him.
Yeah, he needs to trip over, fall on his face, and an explosive to go off on his mask, like where he lands. That would be really hilarious.
And yeah, the main bulk of this issue is kind of split over two bits. One being the Rattler Sky Striker aerial dogfight, and the other being the Snake Eyes Storm Shadow Dr. Venom confrontation. And for me, although I liked the issue, I liked the storylines, I don't necessarily think it worked as well having them go kind of 2 pages at a time.
Yeah, like back and forth, back and forth.
The back and forth broke it up too much for me, especially the aerial dogfight stuff. We've seen it before where, Larry's done 3 or 4 issues of, primarily just aerial dogfighting, aerial action, and it works really well. And here, again, I feel we've kind of been robbed of a
really good aerial.
Out.
Yes, I agree 100% with that statement.
That's not to say that what we get isn't good.
Yeah.
But
it's just we want more of it. We want
more
of it is effectively what we're saying. It's a good thing. It's not.
I feel it takes a little bit of the tension out of it as well, where we cut to the different scenes. But
I get what they're trying to do with it though, and they're trying to kind of mirror the same, like the amount of peril that's going on in each storyline, and then each one is mirroring the other in terms of where they're at with the peril, and then where it kind of subsides, as it were. But I do. This attention to detail thing that Larry is really good at is it's just a very small part of what happens in this story, but I love the fact that Tunnel Rat comes out with Tripwire because they're both explosive ordnance disposal. Yeah. And I thought that was really, really cool. And what an opportunity to get Lightfoot in the issue here as well. And I just thought that would be amazing because they even say we need to get the robot drone out to sort this out.
Yep.
Because there's loads of unexploded ordnance around. And I thought, that would have been a great opportunity for Lightfoot to come out with that robot drone to do doing the work. I thought that would have been awesome. But as it was, and as the story unfolds, there's no real time for that, because it's all like the Rattler's coming, it's going to blow us up, and Ace has got to take it out, and then the Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow going up the building to rescue Billy, who's hanging from the helicopter that's crashed. And there's loads of stuff is going on, and Storm Shadow is, even though he knows it's not Billy gets a shot away, shoots him in the shoulder. This is Ninja Bullsh. Ninja Bullsh, it's all the time, G.I. Joe and Ninja Bullsh. Because imagine getting shot in the shoulder and doing all this. And as they're falling, he's like trying to apply the Arashikage mindset while moving falling debris around them as they're falling. And he tries to shoot him again, and Snake Eyes comes out of nowhere and saves them both on a rope. And then they swing into the building. Meanwhile, Ace and Wild Weasel are having a go at each other.
No, not Wild Weasel, is it? That was one of the questions I had. Why, on the close-up, has this Rattler pilot got 2 big scars on the right side of his face? And he's never name-checked as Wild Weasel in the issue, I don't think. I thought he was standard Rattler pilot, because then that Rattler gets blown up, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, we don't know what happens to him either. I mean, it's just an explosion off camera.
Yeah.
So he could have easily ejected.
Yeah.
But I'll go with you on that one. I just say Wild Weasel because he's in the Rattler and that's the Wild Weasel design. But you're right. Yeah. If he's not name checking him, he's probably just a standard Rattler pilot.
I'll go with what you later where
I default to yours on that one.
Where they're disposing of the bombs and stuff. There's a big close up of his head, and one of my questions was, is this a known pilot because of his facial scarring? But maybe that was just a design choice.
Not that I remember, because I know, we don't really know much about Wild Weasel. He doesn't get much character development in the comics, does he? But that could be something that maybe Larry wanted to put in there to, like you say, differentiate from Wild Weasel, who we never really see.
And do the Rattler pilots, do they wear? Is it the same outfit, or does Wild Weasel have a?
No, it's exactly the same. That's exactly what Wild Weasel's design is: blue neckerchief thing. Same helmet, same gear.
Well, no, it could be. I don't know. I was just interested to, and I think the only reason why the 2 reasons why I thought maybe it's not him is that Mindbender referred to him as Rattler 7 Charlie, and the fact that at the end the Rattler gets blown up, and I thought, they're not going to kill Wild Weasel off panel. But then, I
totally agree with you. I'm in line with you to say that. I said Wild Weasel because of what he looks like. He's Wild Weasel in design. That's all. That's the only reason I said the name out loud. You're right. It's probably more than likely a standard pilot, based on the fact that he's given a different call sign and it blows up and he's probably died. So,
however, more fool Cobra for not sending Wild Weasel.
Yeah, because Ace disposes of him easy. And, I say easy, that wasn't easy. But he is a really cool Top Gun moment where he's like, oh, wait, one plane survived that blast. And it's the Sky Striker. Way to go, Ace. And then we do get a little bit of Tripwire's kind of jerky response time when Tunnel Rat taps him on the shoulder and he's like, youch, and spins round.
Yeah, quality.
Kind of jumpy, huh?
Really nice colours, really nice art in this issue.
It's beautiful. And then we go back to Broca Beach. So everything's, the Joes have kind of got out of everything fine. Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow return to Broca Beach with Billy to strap him into the brainwave scanner and to sort this problem with Dr. Venom out once and for all. They get into the brainwave, they zap him, whatever, and then they avatar the fake Doctor, the real Dr. Venom's mind shit. They get him and they kind of perform this almost like mind exorcism, don't they? And that's where we see an old character come in.
Yes, exactly. Thoughts on this?
Poignant, dark, sad, and kind of depressing.
Okay, right, yeah.
Next.
The whole gamut.
But Quinn is who we see, and obviously Quinn was killed by Dr. Venom, and it's like he's come to take you, into the...
He's like the ferryman, isn't he? He's like
yes,
the ferryman.
And you don't really see his face either, do you? Like, it's really, really dark and kind of horrible, and then Dr. Venom's dragged off into the abyss, and then they come back, Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow come and get Billy, and everything is back to normal again. Yay!
Yeah, kind of the old Larry wrap up in 1-page issue. story.
Massive wrap up.
No, this really like this. This was good, I thought.
Yeah, really American hero. I really American hero it. Yeah, I thought it was really American hero. Loved it.
What do you think overall then? So 160 to 165. This is. I'm just going back to issue 160 to see where kind of what the start of this was. Oh yeah, 160 is Snake Eyes. I think it was the last Augustin Padilla issue. Snake Eyes is trapped in the brainwave scanner, and then from then on, so it's pretty much all the Venom, Billy stuff, going to the pit assault.
I'm going to give it a 7 because it's always an uphill battle for me when the brainwave scanner is the main kind of protagonist. And that's always a fight and a battle with me for some reason. I don't know why I have such a problem with it, but I think it's just overuse is what I have a problem with. But the story is fun. The plot's really good. All of the story that none of the stories that happen in all the different locations feel rushed to me. It all kind of it's like a nice balance because I also don't like to be in the same place for too long as well. If you're lingering in one place or you're lingering over one plot point, then that's where I start to lose it a little bit. And I thought it had a good balance with all those different things. The characterizations were really good of everyone. The art's gorgeous, and it was just a lot of fun. And I think a good solid 7 for everything overall.
Yeah, I think pretty much echo exactly what you said. There's not really much downside here for me. I think I'm going to probably go maybe a low 8 or a high 7, maybe the former, but
I'll give you a high 7.
I'll look at the Every Joe Story Ever spreadsheet, which is sadly been neglected recently, so I will update that and I'll look to see where this is going to slot in.
I punched it in the other day.
Did you?
Really, I'm not only am I neglecting it, I'm abusing it.
Yeah, strong style. Japanese strong style. So next week we're starting off a new storyline, and that'll be 166, 167 for next week. Make sure you do your homework, or you don't have to if you don't want to. You can just ramble on like idiots.
Do your homework, dicks.
Yeah, do your homework. After we talked about Tomics, after we've corked about Tomics, talked about
Tomics. Yep, got it.
Yeah, there's only one thing we do, and that is, I can't mess this one up, talk about toys.
Chris talks about toys, ho ho. Chris talks about G.I. Joe. He talks about all the things from the comic book and the animated show. Chris talks about toys. Chris talks about toys. Chris talks about toys. Chris talks about toys.
That's you.
That is me. Okay, so obviously a character appears in this run that should be dead, and that is Sneak Peek. So I thought let's throw back Thursday on a Monday to Sneak Peek version 1 Advanced Recon for G.I. Joe. Released in 1987 in the United States of America in his grey, red and lime green uniform with black bits on it as well. He was effectively the team's sneaky, dirty, peeping Tom, where he'd just like check people out getting dressed and in the showers, and they thought, well, that's a good skill set. Let's apply that to the battlefield. And of course, we in the United Kingdom did not get this version of Sneak Peek. We had to wait till 1991, and we got what I think is personally better, the Tiger Force version, the European exclusive Tiger Force Sneak Peek, which is bonkers as fuck. And I will obviously enjoy sending these images to you. And also enjoy what the Seddons have to say about his deco. So he's got this kind of greeny grey top, and where the padding on the original shirt is red, they've replaced that with orange and black tiger stripes, which is just glorious. Black gloves, and then he's got this Tiger Force cod piece, which is just f***ing brilliant. Light sky blue trousers and grey knee-high boots. It is f***ing brilliant. So that Sneak Peek was the one I had as a kid, and wasn't even aware of this the original version, other than what they used him for in the Cobra Island Civil War story that I got, that holiday special.
Yep.
Obviously, Sneak Peek was in that in his grey gear, so I must have been aware of it in some capacity, and possibly on like a leaflet, like an action figure leaflet that might have snuck into my existence as well in the late 80s, early 90s. So anyway, the really interesting thing about this figure is not the design and all that kind of stuff. It's actually the fact that the character name is Owen S. King, right? Now, Owen King is the son, and also a famous author himself now, but of the famous horror author Stephen King.
Okay, yeah.
And legend has it that Hasbro named Sneak Peek after Owen, who at the same time was a huge G.I. Joe fan, because his dad had created the character Crystal Ball. That's how the legend goes, and I believe it has been, for the most part, confirmed, which I think is just so cool to have intertwined with, with this character. And so the US version, Owen King, primary military specialty infantry, secondary military specialty radio telecommunications, birthplace Bangor, Maine, which isn't too far from where I'm living now, which is interesting. Sneak Peek is a legend in the Ranger Recon battalions. They tell of one mission where his control unit got overrun. In the ensuing confusion, Sneak Peek was never recalled. He stayed put, observing enemy activity, taking notes, and sketching maps for 2 weeks until somebody remembered he was out there and sent him the signal to return. He is, of course, Ranger qualified and proficient with all NATO night vision devices. Patience, endurance, and guts is what Sneak Peek has plenty of. He's got the patience to creep inch by inch into enemy territory, carefully bending back every branch and twig in his way and just as carefully replacing them. He's got the endurance to sit motionless in cramped cover for days on end, waiting for the bad guys to show up, and when they do, he's got the guts to stick around and watch. He sounds like a f***ing pervert to me.
Yeah.
But also, we got a completely different bit of information for our European version of Sneak Peek. Still Owen King, which is really cool. I'm glad they kept that name. Infantry, radio telecommunications. Guess where he was born? I'll give you 37 guesses.
I'm not going to bother wasting any of them.
High Wycombe,
My loft.
Buckinghamshire.
Oh, okay.
Would you have got that at any point, do you reckon?
No.
Okay. They basically give the same. It's the same information on the card as well. But I just thought that was really, really cool. They obviously changed it to Tiger Force Recon Battalion. So, but I just, really cool figure. I thought he was really bonkers design. And what is quite funny is like his card art is cute as well. Like he's at this little chubby face, and the figure's quite a little kind of, funny shape and everything. He's just a very interesting figure. And obviously in the modern version, good friend of mine, Adam Riches, did the card art for that one. And it's really, really cool, like the modern update of that card art, which is just great. And one thing I should really mention is the amazing accessories he came with. A massive, periscope tower thing, which looks like it just looks like one of those old school flashlights we used to have. Not flashlights. Those kind of curved ones with the you could change the discs inside to make it like red or blue or that kind of shit. Do you remember those torches that had like a little curve at the end?
Yeah, I do actually. I think I had
real
one.
military ones.
Yeah.
Outback has one as well as the figure on his leg. But you get this kind of really cool, elaborate periscope, a walkie-talkie, binoculars, rifle, and a microphone that fits to his helmet. I believe the one in the Tiger Force version we got, I think had the same accessories, pretty much just different colours. And he's this kind of like sneaky kind of, behind enemy lines, stealth kind of guy. And he's got this giant lime green periscope he's got to lug around with him, which I think is hilarious. But yeah, really, really cool. And absolutely love I kind of love this figure for so many different reasons. But one of them is definitely that Tiger Force deco. It's just nuts.
Yeah, sweet. When did you got it at the time in 91 then?
I got it in... I got the sneak peek for the Tiger Force one in 91 in the UK, yes.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
There'll be more toys next week because there's an endless supply.
Definitely more toys than we can get episodes out of, so yeah.
Yeah. Now that I'm educated, it's time to educate some people outside of the shores of the United Kingdom as we go to British colloquialisms, aka over egging the pudding.
We got a pudding, we're gonna egg it. We got a pudding, we're gonna over egg it. We got a pudding, we got no criticisms. That means it's time for some British colloquialisms.
I've already forgotten what I said at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, you said something at the beginning of the show and you said we'll use that later.
Yeah, completely forgotten what it was.
Okay.
Not going to use it. I'm going to listen to the edit, I'm going to make a note of it, and then I'm going to use it for the next episode.
Perfect. So what is your actual one that you're going to use?
This is one that my dad used to say all the time, and it's kind of twofold because it's gonna
He's
open.
a fountain of knowledge, your
I
man.
know
Isn't he?
he's a fountain of colloquialisms. He's from Manchester, so they just and he was in the RAF, so obviously he has all of the colloquialisms ever. But I will say that this one is kind of twofold because it does bring up the age-old debate of chips versus crisps in the UK and the US.
Okay, yes.
So I'll say what the actual colloquialism is: piss on my chips, which obviously means if someone's pissed on your chips, then they've ruined something for you.
Yeah, they've upset you by doing something they shouldn't have done.
They've upset you, they've spoiled something, they've ruined something. And
Mate,
obviously by pissing on some chips, it means that I was going to enjoy those chips, but now you've pissed on them, I'm going to enjoy them even more. No, I'm not going to enjoy it. Exactly.
That's a good one. I like that
that's
one.
Piss on my chips. And then obviously that opens up this wondrous cultural rift between the US and the UK of the constant chips crisps debate. Now obviously potato chips are what we call crisps, and chips are pretty much like thicker fries is effectively what they are, but we also sometimes call fries chips as well, like, you know, just colloquially. And then you go to the States and you say chips, you say chip like chips there, and they just think you mean potato chips, crisps, and it's still to this day a f***ing problem. Can we not work this out, United States and United Kingdom? Can that not be one of the, I don't know, can that be on the agenda for the next Brexit meeting or something? I don't know.
Yeah, should be. Top of the order.
What about yours, mate?
I had one lined up, and I'm also going to save my one for next week because I spotted one in this issue, and I'm going to use that instead. It's a scene from issue 162, and they're in the desert, and Buzzer has said, but there's nothing here but sand and cacti. Blowtorch has said, what's a cacti? And it's been hyphenated. And my one is going to be cac.
Brilliant.
So I haven't used this in years and years, but I used to say, that's a load of cac, that.
My dad uses that one as well.
Does he?
Yeah.
And cac meaning, turd.
Also, it's torch, not blowtorch. Just.
Oh, is it? Did I say blowtorch?
Yeah, blowtorch is Joe. Torch
That's what I said. Torch. I said torch.
You said it. You said it also with another word in front of it.
But yeah, cac is my one.
Cac is brilliant.
I'm going to bring it back in. I'm bringing it back.
It just really does describe shit, doesn't it? Almost like the word cac has that kind of like, it even has the texture of shit, that word when you say it. It's weird. Anyway.
Yeah, it does. It's very apt. There'll be more of those next week.
More cac next week.
More cac next week. Right now, though, we've got a question, and this time I remembered to ask the question.
We ask you a question.
Bum, bum.
We ask you a question.
Bum, ba-dum,
This
bum.
is not the song. This is not the song, so I am making up a new one.
Yeah, so we've asked you a question, and the question was, which G.I. Joe character that has an action figure has featured minimally in the comic and you'd like to see more of them? And we had great responses across all the socials, Insta, Twitter, Facebook, and in an effort to please everyone, so to speak, I'm going to read out all the names we suggested, or not all the
everybody
suggested.
off at once.
I'm going to read out all the suggestions we had, and we will immediately accept or dismiss if we think they have. And the thing is, I spoke to about this before we started recording. Now, I didn't specify what enough page time was. So if a character had been in a 6-issue arc, and that's pretty much all they've been in, then is that considered not much page time, or is that considered enough page time for them not to make the list? I don't know. We'll find out now. Dial Tone.
He's in it loads.
Right,
Off.
dismissed.
Oh, by the way, I don't dislike Dial Tone. I love Dial Tone, but he's in the comic constantly.
Yeah. So gone. Mercer and the Renegades.
Agreed. They need more.
Yeah,
way more.
Is Mercer even in the comics?
Like briefly in a background kind of thing here and there, I think.
I'd like to see more Mercer and the Renegades, so that's good. You're fine
Mercer,
with that.
Red Dog and Taurus, yeah.
Yep. Fast Draw.
Oh, big time. He got like maybe 2 issues of the Marvel run in Cobra Civil War, and then he had that one story in European missions, didn't he?
Yeah. I'm neither here nor I don't care about him. So
no way. We need more of Fast Draw.
Okay, fine.
Definitely.
Yeah. If he makes he qualifies. That's the main thing.
Big time.
Sci-Fi had a couple of votes.
Sci-Fi, I would love to see more of, definitely, but he does he's kind of like a constant background character, but never gets developed. Much like, I suppose you could argue Dial Tone is that way as well.
Yeah. Shockwave had the most votes of anyone on the list.
I agree. He got some cool special mission stuff, but really, we need more Shockwave. We
He
need
was
more
there in the
urban
Eco Warriors
missions.
stuff as well.
Yeah,
Not the
But
Eco, no, in that issue. So he was getting the head man,
drug,
wasn't he?
drug elimination force. Yeah,
I'm not particularly fussed about him, so I'm not bothered. But people
I'd
like
love
him.
to see.
So
I'd love to see more urban stuff.
A
Definitely.
couple of votes for Big Boa.
Yeah. He's again like there's another one that's hardly been really utilised.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
He was in the Cobra series. There was
he was better in that Cobra IDW stuff, but in the Real American Hero, I don't know if I've seen him. Don't really care about seeing him, but that's fine. Lieutenant Falcon.
Yeah, I think he
had a couple of votes.
He was in it a bit, but very peripherally. Yeah, I would agree. I'd like to see more of Lieutenant Falcon.
Yep. Okay. Airborne. Airborne had the
Yeah.
famous kind of, not famous, but he kind of had that feature arc with Iron Knife and Snake Eyes Cabin and all that kind of C-130, but didn't really do much else. But yeah, I'd like to see more Airborne. I was a big fan of Airborne.
He's one of those characters that is like, he's the guy that's in the back of the C-130 all the time. He's like, he's the parachute checker effectively. Like he's that guy. So there's not much you can really go into, but again, I would agree. I'd like to see more of him. I'd like to see him utilised more in different situations, yes.
Someone said, I forget who it was, someone said they'd like to see Flash, Grand Slam and Sci-Fi in a multi-character story. I'm going to disqualify this because Flash was in quite a lot of those early issues.
Well, and also, I mean, if we're talking comics in general and not just a Real American Hero, then, we have seen that they've popped up here and there in this run that we're talking about now. They've been in other kind of IDW stories and stuff. But at the same time, I agree. Flash, I would like to see more of, and Grand Slam too. Grand Slam doesn't get anything really.
No. Crazy Legs. He's dead, isn't he, in Real American Hero?
Yeah, he's dead in Real American Hero. That's obviously why he's not in it that much. But I would like to see some more maybe kind of throwback missions, just to kind of
Slice. Someone said Slice, Dice, and Chaos. I've got no idea who Chaos is.
Well, there's a Dreadnought Chaos, but I don't. Yeah, that's actually a good point because you asked for action figures, didn't you? So yes,
I said which action figures have had minimal page time.
Yeah, well, I mean that's because that was created later on, but also yes, I think Chaos appears in one comic. And it's in the Collectors Club magazine, so that's me stretching my my knowledge on Dreadnought Chaos. But yeah, I think I would love that too because it was a Collectors Club figure, effectively.
Okay, yeah, cool. Slice and Dice. I personally am disqualifying that because I think they had quite a lot of issues during that.
We got enough of them.
The Andy Wildman stuff. So I'm not saying they shouldn't appear more, but I'm saying they're disqualified from not having enough page time.
True.
I do like both of these, Target and Annihilators.
Oh, 100%.
100%. Yeah, we haven't seen that. I like those action figures, and I'm not a massive action figure man, but I like those action figures, and I'd like to see those guys in the comic, and I'm pretty sure we have not seen much page time for them.
Just quickly, Targats are so specialised. They're like, they make leaps. They go up really high and then kind of they're dispersed to Earth really quickly at any point on the globe because they... because it's that speed reaction type thing. Yep. But they're really cool, and I'd love to see them. Yes.
Yep. CoverGirl.
She's in and out though. She comes in, she does stuff, and then she goes out.
I think she's had enough regular appearances, possibly for me to be discounted from this list. Although I want to see more of her, definitely.
Stuff. Yeah, I'd love to see more of her. Yeah, and she was They started to again. We'll get to that in the issues later. Yeah.
Yep. Sure. Outback. That was a late entry about an hour ago.
No, I'd love to see more Outback. He had a little run.
I think he's had enough to disqualify him.
Okay, fair enough.
But like you, I want to see more of him. Definitely. I'm not saying I don't like him. I want to see more, but I'm saying he's disqualified because he's had enough page time.
He's had a good run.
Right, let's move on. Scrap Iron.
Yeah.
Didn't really do much apart from the scene where he kills the Softmaster and Candy.
Yeah, I think that's... Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think... I'm trying to think about Scrap Iron and how much I've seen him, but yeah, not very often. Yeah, let's have more Scrap Iron, please.
Yep, more Scrap Iron. Hit and Run.
I'd love to see more Hit and Run. He's another background character, much like Airborne and Sci-Fi for me.
Yep. Blowtorch.
Yeah, again, specialised, so it makes it difficult, but I would love to see more Blowtorch, yeah.
We've not seen a great deal of him, so that's fine. Banzai and Gristle, no idea who they are.
Banzai's Ninja Force, and I agree. We need to see more Banzai. And Gristle is the Headhunter's second-in-command guy from Headman.
Okay, right. Psych Out.
We see Psych Out all the time. He's
Yep,
in this
disqualified.
issue. We're talking about him now.
Disqualified. Tunnel Rat. He's had loads of
he's
page
in
time,
lot-
especially in that
Get
Civil War.
Out.
Disqualified. Recondo.
Tunnel Rat. Rakonda's in it all the time as well.
Yep, gone.
Well, actually, he was in it earlier on a lot of the time. I would like to see him more in the new stuff, but he's had lots.
He had a couple of arcs.
He's
yeah,
had
he's
tons of page time.
disqualified.
I want to see more of him though.
Stinger Driver.
Yeah, we saw him the other week.
We name checked him the other week.
Because
but
we
that's
hadn't-
cool. That's his only
yeah.
appearance, I think. So yeah, we
Yeah.
want to see more of him. Free
Agreed.
Fall. No idea who that is.
Yeah, Free Falls. He's kind of like Crazy Legs. He was
Right,
like like the Crazy Legs replacement. But
Who
yeah, another one I'd
Crazy
like to
Legs was an airborne replacement, effectively.
see. Yeah.
Yeah. Captain Gridiron. Not sure if that was a gag.
No, Captain Gridiron. Oh well, I would like to see more of him, but he's never had anything. He's been in like one
Yeah.
panel, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Firefly. Whoever Joker put that in, I'm going to find them. Anyway.
See you later.
See you later. Chabang.
Yeah.
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 Had
Ninja Force.
Had a few Ninja Force bits.
Not
Torpedo.
much,
Love Torpedo.
Yeah, but he's in the new comic a lot. So
All right, disqualified.
Just f***ing relax, guys. You're getting You're getting
Croc
loads
Ma-
of pedo.
Crocmaster.
He's called pedo in the cartoon once.
Right.
Crocmaster, yes, he's had like specific issues of his though. So Crocmaster's been in. He was in High Finance with Jinx. He was in a origin story in IDW. He's been in even Crocmaster 2 was in the IDW like World War III run because the original Crocmaster died. So spoiler alert.
Yeah, he's got that IDW Cobra run.
Yeah, so I don't know. Okay. I'm going to say no in that he's disqualified from this particular thing, but I want to see more of him, definitely.
Yep. Who else? Airborne, we've already got him up there, so Airborne, another check for him. And the last one here, I've got a couple more, sorry. Footloose.
Yeah, he has had a lot. Oh, he's had a lot
in
plenty.
Action Force.
Yeah, and loads in Action Force. So
disqualified.
just chill your boots and read Action Force.
Major Blood.
Oh, off, he's been in loads.
Big Ben.
Yeah, I want to see him more. He was in. They used him in the first couple of pages of the Revolution comic, and then killed him immediately.
Yep. Ripcord kind of had a big arc with Candy.
He had a big arc.
So and last of all, Scarface. Now
Yeah,
that would revolve around him being brought back to life, but also he was
Maybe
in
yeah.
at least 10 issues, 8 to 10 issues of those early ones, I think.
Yeah. Also,
That's substantial page time to me.
when did he get an action figure? I'm sure there is one, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Okay, I don't know. That's your ballpark, not mine.
It is, and for some reason I've failed you dramatically there. I
all right.
don't remember him having an action figure, guys. Please write in with your Scarface information on that one, because I do not remember getting a
Well, that might be a question
Scarface.
for next week. So stay tuned for a question for next week that might revolve around characters from the comics that have never had an action figure. But if there's enough, we could use that next week. But yeah, let us know if Scarface has had a figure. You can do that.
I will come in and say he has. There's a scarred Cobra officer in the modern range from 2008. So right. I take it back. Apologise. Yes, there is a Scarface. He's just not called Scarred Face. He's called Scarred Cobra Officer.
But
My
he's
fault.
disqualified anyway because he's had loads of page time.
Okay.
You can find us in all the usual places. That's Talking_Joe on Twitter, Talking Joe Comics on Instagram, TalkingJoeComics@gmail.com, Talking Joe Comics, a G.I. Joe podcast on the Facebook. We will be here next week, all being well and good. And where can the people find you, sir?
Providence, Rhode Island now. But not Providence, Rhode Island. Pawtucket, Rhode Island, I should say.
Yeah, right.
We're actually, can I just say, I'm literally 0.7 miles away. No, 0.4 miles away from the Hasbro Pawtucket office. So, brilliant, eh?
Yeah.
So, in any case, you can find me at Diagnostic80 on Twitter and Instagram. And you can find the Full Force podcast on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, Patreon, and Facebook and Twitter as well.
Yeah, good stuff. You can find me on Cheapy2 Shoes on Twitter, or this seems to be it's kind of a plug episode, so I'll get one more in. You can find me on the Outer Timers on my other podcast. But it's been good stuff. Been a high energy show. You're all moved into the new place. I am moving out of the loft in about 5 minutes because my hands are going purple. But you will catch both of us down the road because I'm getting the ending completely wrong because we're out of time and everything has been said and done, and we will catch you down the road.
Oh, that pissed on your chips, didn't it?
What a load of cack.
Cheers.
Bye.